All right, so on the back of that, we continue to shine a spotlight of the impact the rains have had across the country, from Mpumalanga to KwaZulu-Natal. We've also seen Gift of the Givers who've now stepped in to assist affected communities. For the latest update, we're going to be joined via Zoom by Gift of the Givers member Corene Conradie, who is based now in the Eastern Cape. So Corene, good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on the SABC. Really just following developments due to the damages caused by the rains. And I wonder if you could weigh in on the impact and the extent of damages to date.
A very good afternoon to you and a good afternoon to all the viewers. It's Gift of the Giver's third visit to Komani, Queenstown. And with each visit, the disaster and the impact of the disaster has increased. We've got over 1,000 people that are now staying in 4 different shelters. Have been evacuated settlement, and so they could unfortunately not evacuate their houses. Some people are staying on the roof of their shacks because the whole shack in beneath is washed with water. Some people's whole houses have been washed away. We have started off with the immediate relief assistance, which is our mattresses, our blankets and toiletries. There's over 300 children that are staying in these community shelters. With the newly evicted ones yesterday, people were put into their shelters with nothing, not even shoes, as everything have been washed away. And a mother came to us with her 2 children saying that, my children are not well, they are on medication, there's no food, there's no water. And we then stepped in to assist with providing food and water for these children as well. And going forward, Department of Human Settlements did say that they will provide 100 houses. It will still take a while. And the turnaround time for these families could be more than 3 months that they will stay in the shelter. In Komani, Queenstown, the infrastructure damage is not that severe as the rural areas. As we understand, eMalahleni is completely cut off, and hundreds of families don't even have clean drinking water, as families drink from the rivers, from the streams, and now with the water mixed with flood water, they don't have clean drinking water.
Absolutely. So it's obviously opening up a lot of questions in terms of where to from here. You've spoken about the places affected. You've spoken about the plans in place, perhaps for the short-term assistance that have been offered. Has government come out to respond to the matter? How are you also dealing with, children who need to go to school come Monday? You spoke about health issues, the lack of safe drinking water. What's also been reflected on that front?
Department of Education have not yet come to the table. We are hoping that they can get more involved, as there are lots of children affected. Children returned to school last week already, and with nothing, no uniform, no clothing, no shoes, not even a backpack or a lunchbox. They had absolutely nothing. We are very grateful to the businesses in Queenstown. We've got Escort, and we've got also the SES who are donating to make sure that these children have something to eat at least. Health issues are also at risk. These families are packed. It's not just one family in a room in the safe house. It's quite a bit of families. Males and females have been separated, but still it's quite flooded as we are speaking of over 2,000 individuals, which is between 500 and 600 families as per the count. So we are looking at providing these children with stationery and so on, so that they could at least go to school in a dignified manner. The other main concern is hygiene. It's detergent items, hygiene packs. These families, most of them are unemployed. We do understand that lots of businesses have closed their doors in Komani, Queenstown due to the effects of load shedding and the local politics. And so many people have been laid off. So these people can't afford the necessary hygiene essential items. So we are looking at they have distributed quite a number of items as well. And in the community, we visit a house where the front of the house had collapsed completely. And in this specific house, there's 15 individuals staying, of which 4 are adults, the rest children, and only 1 person working, and the income is still under the breadline. So these families, this is just one example, but there are so many other examples who have not received any humanitarian aid or assistance yet. And they don't have the financial means to carry on and rebuild their life. They need to be compensated in some way.
Corene, just very quickly, I mean, obviously seeing the effects of the rains, as we look at the weather patterns that are set for the rest of the week, do we see, conditions clearing up? And then just on the back of what has transpired, we're looking at the short-term effects. This obviously has long-term implications as well. What are some of the systemic issues that need to urgently be addressed to mitigate against some of these challenges that we see is obviously due to climate change, lack of infrastructure, and administrative issues as well?
A lot of the flooding is also caused by blocked drains. Maintenance plays a big role. If the roads and infrastructure and drains are maintained on time, this would have happened. And of course, you see people are building on the flood line, and there's no warning. The only warning comes last minute when the flood is happening, which shouldn't be. People should be directed by the local municipalities, disaster management, human settlements, as to where it is safe to build. People must be given land to build, because people build and erect their houses everywhere where it's not safe. We see that they are right next to the river, and when the river pushed up to over 100% capacity, that's when people started to panic. So those lines should be in place with the local municipalities going forward. And the people are saying that they don't want to go back to these communities because a flood can happen again. So they want a land where they are safe, where they don't have to live in anxiety. So we are speaking to the local municipalities for that. In the rural areas, bridges have collapsed. One bridge connects 6 villages. And these bridges and roads have not received maintenance in years. So they're quite fragile when a disaster or heavy rains happen, because they collapse quite quickly because of no maintenance over the years.
Corene Conradie, let's leave the conversation there. Thank you very much for your time on the SABC. Corene Conradie from Gift of the Givers, just unpacking the organization's modus operandi this time round in some of the affected areas, including the Eastern Cape province, on the back of the floods that have ravaged the areas yet again. Just speaking about some of the needs, the plans in place, and what we can expect for the week to come. Again, thank you to her for her time.